Hi, greetings. This is Open Up with Sello Ngube. And you know what they say is where there's life, there's hope.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
But there's this quotation that I love very much, and it's by Elizabeth Gilbert. And it says, the inability to open up hope is what blocks trust.
The inability to...
And blocked trust is a reason for blighted dreams.
Oh, that is so true.
Isn't it?
That is so true.
Isn't it?
That is so true. I'm hearing that it says you need to open yourself up.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am with the powerhouse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She's an actress,
I am.
singer.
I am.
I heard you play around with a couple of notes, but I haven't seen you dance.
Well,
And you're a dancer as well. Okay, and you are a philanthropist.
This I am.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, this is time to open up with me.
Yo.
Tell me about your philanthropy.
Wow.
Let's take it there.
Oh,
Let's take it
no,
there.
so you're going to dive right into the deep
Let's
end.
go there. Let's just go there. Tell me about your philanthropy.
You know when you title something and you
Yeah.
give it a name and you call it philanthropy,
Yeah.
it sounds bigger than what it sounds like it is bigger than what you are.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it has a title, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
But they say a person that acts is an actor, a person that sings is a singer, a person that does good deeds is a philanthropist.
Exactly.
So I am in the habit of creating platforms and fixing, and
Wow.
my soft spot is understanding that whatever was broken can be fixed.
Yeah.
And usually broken things are fixed with communication.
You know, I mean, the way you explained your whole philanthropy thing.
Yeah.
And you say, well, when you act, this.
Also, that's your voice every day.
You know.
Like put Sello, that's your voice every day. I'm so sorry, but
Yeah.
okay, it takes getting used to.
All
My
right.
goodness.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
You say when you act, you're an actor.
Yes, when you sing, you're a singer.
So whatever action that you do
Is who you are.
is who you are.
100%.
And your actions define.
Define your character. Yes.
And you know what? I'm just trying to be a little naughty because we understand
Oh,
the
dear
space.
Lord.
You know, here's something.
We are
because
peanuts.
you know, there's this thing that you know, like when you find as actors, so you know, when I get into character.
Yes.
I think that is the biggest BS ever.
Really?
No, I think it is the biggest BS. Because I think what we want to say is that you are focusing on the series of actions that you want to do.
To portray this person.
Exactly. Because that's where the focus is. And now we say we are getting into character. And whereas we are focusing, because what you're going to be doing is do this one action.
Yes.
And the thing is, in dialogue,
yes,
there are the actions.
Yes. Yes.
you know what I mean? But
Yes.
yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting.
Yes.
So, you know, I really understood, where you're coming from.
Wow.
But tell Maziko, Zikhona.
Yes.
Tell me about you. Where were you born?
Oh, that's a big
You know,
question.
where did you do your, I would say sub A, but you know, that would have been my
I
age.
come from the era of sub A.
Oh, you
at
did
9,
sub
standard
A.
10.
Okay.
Just before the crates. Just
Okay,
before.
okay.
I'm young enough to be young, but old enough to be old. These kids. So,
Yes.
so let me take back to birth. So Ndingumxhosa kazi was Eastern Cape.
Yes.
There's a small town. I don't know if you heard about it. But there's a small town called Ntate. You know, the President Nelson Mandela.
Ntate is not a small
Yeah,
town.
I know. I wanted you to say it.
D or
Mthatha.
Okay.
And then I did grow up in KZN. My
Right.
mom got another home there. So I spent my teenage years over there between KZN and Mthatha. And then KZN, higher education, KZN, and then early 20s, end of 19 years old, beginning 20, came to Gauteng.
Okay.
And literally, that's where it all happened, when I got to Gauteng.
You know, I always say, when people ask me, where did this all start?
Yeah.
And I know, I think I was about 4 years old.
Tell me.
And when I was 4, my uncle used to like taking me to town, on Saturdays. And when we get there, and then he will make sure that we pass, by an Indian shop, because Indian shop would always have a speaker on the pavement, and then whatever popular song of the time would be blaring out, and boy, would I get down.
Are you kidding me?
Well, I get down.
Were you like a little kid?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
And then now people will throw money.
Also, women's
In fact, he was clever because and then what my reward would be a packet
like
of
a
chips.
Young sweet or something.
Would be a packet of chips and Coca-Cola. Where did it, if you would try and recall, where for you?
You know what? I think, and the funny part, because it's who I am. So, unlike, with other people who are so lucky to know, but I was this age when it happened. It's similar to what you're saying, that they say I'd always been performance inclined. So the family sings. So what I would do a lot is sing. So I thought I'd be a musician, if anything. Because, then my sister studied opera and she traveled with that. So it's prevalent in my family. And I thought that's what I would do, but I was so lazy to pursue it. How do you pursue music? Ain't like honestly, it's too much. Then that's what I thought I would maybe do. But they say I've always been a storyteller. Apparently, and when I think back, I do find those moments.
Okay.
So I was always in the center of the room narrating a story. And then when I see there's a reaction to the story, I've narrated even more and even more and even more. And then I've always come up with, and that's what they say. They say I did that from when I was really young. This is my family. The Ray is my family.
Yeah.
And then Dakula Nine until I became an adult. But who you are as a child apparently is who you will be when you grow up. You've always been the person you are, whether you're aware of it or not. So it started there.
Okay.
In a way.
All right.
Till...
Did you study?
I mean, I've read a book in my life.
Okay. Did you study
Did I
drama?
study performance?
Yeah.
I did not study drama. I am one of those statistics that did not.
They say you're a natural.
Apparently.
You're a natural.
I did, though, learn the hardest way.
Okay.
I really envy people who went to drama school. Because I had to learn on the field.
Yeah.
Do you know what it's like to stand on a stage with you?
I don't know.
Well.
Okay.
If I can think about what it's like to not study for something that you do really well, your instincts are have to be really, really sharp, because you have to understand that you're learning.
Yeah.
But it's just that you're learning with a red pen that is like abantu, and that is the client you're performing for. So it was very, when I started, I was very aware of the fact that there's so much I didn't know. So what I'll do is I'll cheat. And I'd ask the people I work with, so what are you doing? I don't know, this is called a soliloquy. This is called a this is called a da-da-da. This is a da-da-da. So how do you transition to that? And so the human beings I work with would be my textbook. And then I did date an artist.
Lady is a
Okay,
bring it on.
And so he was studying drama. So I studied his textbooks.
Okay, all right.
For that year.
You know that we should. I never
know.
I mean, where would I go to drama school in 1980?
Drama school.
There was. I think Ngoye. Used to Ngoye, which is the University of KZN.
Yes.
They used to have drama, but it was a
wow.
Yeah. But my school was Gibson Kenton,
which is the University of Life.
You know what I mean?
Because you were technically learning on the job.
Exactly, absolutely.
I
know that feeling that you're talking about.
You know what I mean? So you're alive, and then I think when you come from that, you never die.
No,
you don't.
Yeah,
because you don't have something at the back of your head saying, but the textbook said.
No.
You don't have it. It lives with you forever, and you constantly alive.
Your instincts are working all the time.
So that's all I have. I did read his books, though.
Which book did you read? I'm curious.
Stanislavski. It was Stani. Some of Stanislavski, I must say. But Stanislavski is also on Google right now. And that's all. But formal training, I don't have.
Yeah. Let's go motherhood a little bit.
Yes.
You know, I'm going to be a little naughty here. Would you allow me to be a little naughty?
Masi.
You know, like for instance, when I had my first child, you know, and I learned that I impregnated somebody. But here's
damn it, who is she?
Here's this, that I mean. Yeah, well, you get known that you have you're going to be a dad, but it doesn't live with you every day.
Yes.
You.
No, Tina Sipila
and I remember thinking, hey, so my parents now think now I'm doing it.
What's that? When you're pregnant,
so how did
there is something you did. In 2020, there was COVID, and there was lockdown.
Yeah. Okay.
In lockdown, you must do anything.
Yeah.
Yes, I did get pregnant last year, and I lived with it every day. And
it was such a like a shock for me when we bumped when we met in Cape Town.
Yes, I know. It's almost like I don't know why people never thought I would. Yeah, now I'm trying to do yes. Once to make a child, but I worked throughout my pregnancy. So I found I discovered it when I was about 4 months.
Yeah.
And at that time I was shooting something. It was there's an epic that's come out by Yellowbone Productions.
Yeah.
I don't talk about it a lot, but it's coming. It's
Oh yeah, we were together in that.
We were together there. At that time, I was 4 months pregnant.
Okay.
Bumped into you in Cape Town in another production. I'm very pregnant at the time. So you live with this thing, and I watch the father of my child, who is extremely
doting.
He's great with that boy.
Yeah.
He's fantastic with that boy, and I get it. I get why fathers have such a strong bond with their children when they're born, because you didn't have the 9 months that I had. I had him in me the whole time.
Yeah.
I figured out some of his personality traits, some of the things that he does before he became a human being. And when you meet him, you're just like, so yonke lanto that I've been going through, you experience it for the first time.
Yeah.
Sayekhona, which is, I think God is smart for doing it like that. So
was he in the labor room?
Yes, he was.
Okay. He's damned.
So like a man mustn't be in the room, and I stand to be corrected. Maybe it's not for everyone, but I was told.
I did it with one of my children.
No,
I was there. No, yeah,
he was in there. He bared it with me. It was an operation, it was a major operation, and he was right here. Naughty man, he took pictures of the whole thing. So
no,
on my 2 months birthday, he sends me pictures. He says, so this is what went through, because you don't see what's happening. You just lie there. Then they pull a child out. It's magic.
You're in performance, Billy.
No, that's the one time you're not in performance, because they're delivering the child on your behalf. It's insane, the things that a female body
out being giving birth. That's why I say you're in performance. So you're not seeing yourself.
It's insane. I can't. You know that mothers are superhuman.
I know.
No. This thing that we do is like no. It's like amandla that like a woman has to be able to go through that. Like I'm now privy to the things that I'm capable of.
I mean, apparently. When I was there with one of my children, and I held him in my arms, and as I held him, apparently the midwives said I was holding him as if I made him by myself.
Oh, this is what happens, man.
I know. But you get damned by that.
Oh yeah?
I tell you, that's why the bond that I have with the child.
Yes.
It doesn't that's why it is. It's magic. That's why I was saying to you that he's damned now.
No,
He's damned.
No. Yeah, I'm trying to
Exactly.
I'm just like, you do know that's my child too. Also, he's like, no, I'm done. Oh, okay.
But here's the thing that breastfeeding.
Yeah,
I mean, it became I think as far as I know, with black people, it is not an issue.
No, it's not.
But somehow it became an issue.
The breastfeeding conversation?
Conversation.
Can I tell you a story?
Tell me a story.
So I'm minding my own business and I have a child. And, I'm just like, maybe I should announce that. I don't know why I'm announcing, I don't know to whom, because my mom, who is no longer here, and my family knows the children, but I'm announcing. Perhaps I was excited. Yeah. As I should be, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So I do a little shoot with a friend of mine with my newborn. The natural instinct is, and he's breastfeeding. As that's his main form of food to breastfeed. Right. If he had another form, maybe I would have done that. But I went with the natural one. Yeah. So then the pictures go out. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, the pictures out. The child is born in respect and acknowledging the people that are excited with me in the country. Thank you so much for working with me. And then I'm now doing shows, talk about breastfeeding. I'm now getting calls from radio stations and journalists, and I'm now the spokesperson of why breastfeeding is okay. Yeah, and it never hit me that this thing that I'm doing is an anomaly. I am daring the public by taking an image of myself and my child breastfeeding. Because oh my God, you're naked. Maybe how do you breastfeed? With clothes? Like, it's so weird. It's like I refuse to entertain it like it's a serious matter because I think we all breastfed. If we didn't breastfeed, we definitely ate in another way. But it's child eating. The sexualization of a basic need of a human is retarded. Like, it's when people are really mad. Like, you must be insane to take a child's basic need away from them because you choose to sexualize the mother.
Exactly. Yes, and
so you're ignoring the child. You're going to me when you could have just looked at the child. Like, do you know what I mean? Do you know how retarded that is?
I know.
So that was my
that's how it came about.
So this is spokesperson breastfeeding, and I'm just like, no. I will not make an issue. What do you want to say to the men who don't want women to breastfeed? Maybe they should go back and ask their mothers, did their mothers breastfeed them? And did their mothers cover themselves?
Are there men who...
Nonsense.
Are there men who don't...
That's why entity is here and says redoing. That's why kusitiwa manditete uba like, what do I want to say to the I doubt it's women that make other women. I stand to be corrected. But it's for the people who are saying that public breastfeeding is a problem.
It has never, I don't.
It wouldn't even cross your mind, right?
No, not at all. I mean, there was this play that I did, The Suit, and one of the characters was like his mother had such big breasts. I mean, it was watermelons. And even
really
when
do turn into watermelons.
I'll tell you that. It was watermelons. And it's like, I mean, my mother had so much milk that all the children in our neighborhood would come to her. And even when
I have heard that does happen.
Job Kubats was brilliant. And he says, and even when my mother, was working, and then it says my mother will just throw it back.
Oh my Lord! You are like we made fun of.
But that's how basically
it's common. It's common language.
It's common language. I mean, every time when you're in the taxi, a bus stop, in the train, you would see a mother basically
feeding
just
the child,
whipping it out and just feeding the child.
Do you know what it makes me think? It makes me think that I wish that our brothers, our cousins, and our fathers, the men that are in our lives, I wish they would protect us more.
Talk to me
because
about it.
If you are sitting beside me and I'm feeding my child, and the person on the right decides to be offended about me feeding the child, and you assume a role of big brother or uncle or father, you can protect me from that guy.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
So maybe if it will go back to that, it would be simpler. But I think people get to insult other people when they detach themselves from you.
Right.
And that's I think that is the disconnect. People don't realize that you're supposed to be my brother instead of the guy who is sexualizing an act of innocence.
I know. I mean, no, that's retarded. That's retarded. It is. It doesn't make sense at all.
Especially good. I don't know where it comes to. Like, it's so foreign.
No, because I remember when I was growing up, it was always I think white people who would be very,
Who would be, that's what I'm saying, it's very Swedish.
Yes.
Or European. But we don't even know because we're not European. Yes. It's simple. The things that we're making complicated are simple. So just together, don't do that.
Ma'am, what led you in, how did you get into?
So I'm minding my own business, remember, in Zikhona. And I'm living with my sister, and my sister says, you need to pay rent.
Yeah.
Some way or another. And she's just like, can't you find something to do? And then I'm just like, yeah, I'm looking for a job in this IT I'd studied. And then she's just like, maybe try this avenue. And she shows me how I can find a representative. I'm like, a representative? Mamela, remember, I don't know who Google were calling at that time when I was 20, because I'm 36 now. That's 16 years ago. So you couldn't really be like, here's how to find work, which is how they do it now, which is so much easier. But she gave me magazines and said, these are actors, this is a person. So she showed me how to have a search engine in 2000 and whatever. And eventually I found a person. And then he was an agent. I don't want to mention him, rather notorious.
Okay.
And then I connected with him, and then the next thing he sent me to an audition. Hey, am I not going to an audition for a tomboy? But I don't know that you need to show up as the character, because I don't know. All I know is, well, if I don't know anything, all I have is the truth. So I'm going to read the script and I'm going to tell the truth. That high heels, weave, at the time I'm going to read for a tomboy who was like a mechanic.
Right.
And the director saw what he needed. With all of that wrongness, he saw it. I was so scared. A panel, like the line of people who were reading for that character are still my idols today. Like people who've been working in the field for so long, just like when
as you say that all you did was tell the truth. There's I think a Hollywood actor, James Cagney. And James Cagney says, what an actor has got to do is find his mark, look the other actor in the eye, and tell the truth. And that's what you did.
True story. It's all I had. Turns out it's all I have. And that's what I did. And King Shaft, the director, is the one who was just like, that's the girl.
That's a girl.
Maybe he got backlash, maybe not, and he really did fight for me. I think I remember him really fighting for me. Came back, told me exactly how. Please come back in this form and in this way, and the rest is history.
What would you say now? Then you went. Baraking dry. Green. I think green is more the word.
Yes.
Green is more the word that you were just green.
Yes. I hope I got root.
No, but you never do actually. You never do. But compare that and now. The journey that you have traveled. How is the journey been for you?
Well, at least I definitely know to show up as character right now. That's the first point. It helps. It's not necessary, but it really does help. That if you're going to read for a man in his 40s, 50s, with a... What's the word? What does plethora mean? I've always wanted to use that word.
A plethora. Is
that it just means? Yes, with a plethora of work. Yes.
All right.
Then don't show up in a mini skirt. Like, show up in a Mandela shirt, class issues, you know what I mean? And pay respect to the work that you're going to have, that you're going to create. I've definitely learned that. It's very simple. To me, I've kept it very simple and very basic.
Right.
Still good old fashioned, tell the truth of the story and show up as the person you are representing at that time. Let's say you're going for an audition. Show up as that person. Of course, it's a little bit colder than what you'd show up as on the day, which is on the floor. But, you know, you try your utmost best in the nerves, in the uncertainty, in the don-don to mimic what it would be like to be on that stage on the day.
Right, right. Wow. Which role would you say basically was your flowering?
Ngesixhosa eyona ndiyithandayo.
Yeah.
Okay. Which one is your favorite, Sello? Of mine. Which one is your favorite of mine?
Okay, all right. I went to the theater one day.
No, you didn't.
And then, you know, and I was expecting to see somebody else.
Oh, yeah.
You know, in the role. And then I go in there, and then you walk on. And I just said, doesn't bother. You know? And I have a way when I'm at the theater. I'll actually basically like start by sitting like this.
Okay.
But if you find me getting to the point where I'm like, that's it.
Yani, that's so smart.
That's it. If ever you basically you are interesting to
me, then
I would
oh my gosh. Yeah, because you're being drawn by the story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you did that to me.
I did not.
And I'm very stubborn.
Well, you don't for obvious reasons. I mean,
you know, but yeah.
Oh
so
my goodness.
You wanted to, that was your moment of like.
For you, thank you so much.
No, but for you, I mean, I'm asking
I'm not gonna lie, you know, I hadn't been on stage for such a long time. I probably was on stage the last time 2013, 13, or like, it had been 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, and the last time I was on stage, it was something, I was a little person, you know,
yeah, maybe just
a walk
such
a beautiful thing, you know. You feel like, I wish that thing that happened when I was 16, I hope it can happen again when I'm 30, so I can give it life.
Yes.
And so I had the unfair opportunity of working on Unongoko.
Right.
Actually, there was an audition for that. And I didn't go because I was just like, because I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get it. I know that for sure. Because I have so much respect for people who do amazing work.
Yeah.
I have incredible respect for. I was just like, I know exactly who's going to end up getting it, so I'm not going. And then fast forward to I get a phone call from James. He's just like, let's do this. And then I meet up with him and I'm like, of course. And because it's been so long before I was on stage, and the role was written for Mamu Nomhlengonyi.
Exactly, yes.
So I knew that I had a lot of work to do. Because an opening night, both the Nongokos were there, Mamu Nomhle and Mamu Tokonjing. Because when Nomhle stopped performing it was given to Mamu Tok. And then I knew that at opening night, both of them would be there. And the wait was on. And I had to do as much work as I could to tell the story. But what a beautiful time I had. I had no clue that the reception of that show was going to be like that. I mean, if you respect that work, I mean, I feel like feeling the arrival. You go to see my show.
But here's the thing. What would you say, I mean, if you were to make a difference between theater? I get, asked this question all the time. But theater and, I would say camera acting.
Yeah, camera acting, yeah.
Theater and camera. What would you say?
I remember I was hinting to, earlier on, I think I'm starting to not. I'm so grateful I have a career in front of the camera. I'm not going to lie. We don't take it for granted, right?
Absolutely,
it's insane. I do not want to replace it. I want more of it.
Yeah.
But the work that's being created in South Africa isn't satisfying to a black woman. I think that they're writing stuff that I've seen before and that I've done before. Remember, it's 16 years. But to bump into a character that was written 12 years ago and then 10 years ago, it's just like the woman, like it's almost like for writing, the woman doesn't evolve, the man does, and that's not fair. You know?
Do you think it's only happening for women?
I wouldn't know, because remember, that would be so interesting to hear again, how is it for the man? But it's almost like, it's literally a repetition. I look at it and I go, but how am I supposed to do this? Because I've done it already. Like I've already played the angry Xhosa girl, the Xhosa girl of the Xhosa girl of. And there's like 3 of them in every script, and that's not fair. You know, so then you just like, oh, maybe not. Maybe someone else can play that. But however, on stage, you know, you've got such a plethora of scripts to look through.
You know. I mean, there's an analogy that I always use. That is, you know, for me the stage is like stove cooking. You know, and camera basically it's microwave cooking.
You think so?
Because when you prepare, when you know, like 4 weeks, whatever, how many 3 weeks of rehearsal, so you gradually, get into interrogate it this way and interrogate it that way, you know, and even when you're performing, you know what I mean? You're still up, you know. I mean, and then when it comes to camera, it's like you learn it now, deliver it then.
But yes, you know what I mean? I was thinking about like a Denzel Washington performance, actually. A Sello market performance on screen, right? And how it's harder to remember what you're cooking on camera because it's cut and paste and cut and paste.
Exactly.
So you're shooting this today. You're off for 4 days. You come back after 4 days. And within you, after so much life has happened in those 4 days, you still need to go back to a place and find that place and then recreate it, so that when it's cut and paste together, it looks like a perfect picture. So it does have its own intricacies.
I think it has its own intricacies.
Soapy, well, Soapy is the one that's really, faster. Almost like microwave, because now you're shooting every day for the same purpose. But maybe a film or maybe a series. Wouldn't you? What do you think about that?
I mean, because the performance that you have to give on camera, you cook. I mean, the rehearsal is like 1, 2, 3 rehearsal, and then
and you go in.
You go in and it's a take.
You go in and it's a take.
To take, you know, and sometimes like with the first take, it's like that's it.
And that's not hard.
Yeah, but that's why I say it's microwave cooking. So basically, when you go for that, heat is like, you know, and then it's cooked. You know what I mean? But when you go into the theater space, the rehearsal, then you.
Okay.
And one of the things that I even say is that when I'm on stage. If there's one thing that I always, I'll share this with you. Just before I go on stage, I always say, there by the grace of God goes I.
Yes.
You know, and I say that every time when just about to walk on. And from then on.
No, but I walk on stage. Like true. Experiencing you, am I cutting you?
No, you're not. If there is a moment where I feel like I'm closer to God, it's when I'm on stage.
No, there, my friend, I agree.
Talk to me about your own experience.
I agree. What a space.
You know,
I wonder how one would explain this to someone who isn't in the performing arts. Firstly, God loves artists more. don't tell them. Don't tell them what. It's not possible that you're human and you get to do that. How do people tell the stories of people who aren't here? And it's normal. It's not.
Yeah.
But there you are, so it's the sweet spot. It's a place that I wish every human being can find, whatever their discipline is. Just find a place in you where you can exist outside of your body, and anything that's in your body is rehearsed,
right on
it's
point.
Prepared. You've done this before. You've made a phone call. You've created a document. But there's a spot that exists, a place and a thing that you are not in control of, that you're brought on earth to do, and do that thing.
You know what? You know what is beautiful is, and I think the way you are explaining it is that you are, from that moment you just go and you become something else. And the thing about that is that you cease to be yourself for, let's say, a period of 90 minutes. And you are in somebody else's world. You're following their actions and their life story, their pains and their glory. And then thereafter, when, the lights go down and you go back.
And you come back.
Like, whoa.
You're like, at the bowing down moment. No, it happened. It happens. I discovered it and I felt. That's why I fell in love with stage. That's why I think I really, if I could take a break for the next 2 years and just travel with the show, I think I'm in the right age and stage to do that. And
you're a mom now.
Yeah, I'm a mom now. Is this my language? You're just like, I'm okay with the pain. Yeah. Give me a tour.
No, but I guess, I think the dad will, because like...
He's also, what do you mean travel? When you say travel, you mean where?
With
who?
Yeah, exactly.
Where is the sun while you're traveling? So, basically,
you didn't have, I'm an artist. Every time when they have to get into the business, it's either, I remember when a friend of mine says, his father asked him, says, hey, Abusho, Ntate Sello. Where does he work?
Wow.
And my friend says, no, he's an actor. I said, I see. But where does he work? So you didn't go through that?
No, I didn't. Unfortunately, I never had the unfair. I did. When I got here, I was a bartender for a hot second. That's like it. That's it, and then straight into that role.
We share little things.
Is that your story too?
That I was a waiter once.
Oh wow! Before you got into the arts.
At Kippies.
That is not true.
I'm telling you.
At Kippies. Kippies, right next to your theater.
And I remember when I did that, people were saying, I want to sell Maja. I was selling best Nyatsis. We are artists. We don't do that. Being an actor, you struggle a lot in between jobs. Financially. How has that? And with COVID also now at play now, how did that hit you? We know what else you did also during COVID, but
I did that.
Yeah. So, but on a serious note,
I think we need a drink and we need no one and a chat. This is a long conversation in the time we have.
Okay.
But you know what I think? The evolution, human beings are lagging in the face of evolution.
Yeah.
The world is evolving faster than we are. And even as artists, maybe the world is evolving quicker than we want it to.
Explain, break
so
that down.
Are things that I'm not ready for, or perhaps other artists are not ready for as well. Things have gone digital now. Things are downloadable now. The sensation of sitting in a movie house and watching a Marvel production is dwindling down, And then you're just scared. You're just oh my gosh, because the thing that I know is escaping. And even stage is shaky.
But can I share something with you? I started with Gibson, 81. Yeah? In 82. was the beginning of TV2 and 3.
It was like Dala,
Yeah.
TV2 to TV3.
Exactly.
I know, TV1 or TV2 to 3. Okay.
TV3, yeah. And that was the beginning of TV2 and TV3.
Okay.
And because of that, because of television coming into the space, Gibson decided to close shop.
Yo.
Yes, because he thought and he felt that television was going to steal audiences away
from the stage.
from the theater. You know what I mean? Did it?
Yeah, no, it didn't.
It didn't.
But la fear he could have stayed open.
No, but he did afterwards. Go back and did plays. He did. So basically, what I'm trying to say is your fear of things going digital
is small waters. This has been happening. But this is what I'm trying to raise, is that most of the time, generally, when you're scared of something, it's a lie. It's never going to be as bad as you think it is. It's just that you just haven't seen the other side of the coin. So you think it's going to be the death of you, but it usually isn't.
Yeah.
So with that, if one could rather embrace what the changes are bringing to the artist, one could stay lucrative, you know. So fortunately for me, I'm not one to be afraid of change. I actually seek it. So with things happening, where everybody can be a producer, a director, a filmmaker, anything easier than 25 years ago, where
10 years ago,
where if you wanted to make a film, you had to have film, a camera that operates on film in order to go project in the movie house.
Yeah.
So Ngoko, you can use your cell phone to make a movie. You can edit on your phone to make a movie, and people will watch it and people will download it. It's an era of opportunity. So instead of being afraid of what's happening, I just learned to embrace it and learn what this can bring as an opportunity. But you know what I'm hearing from what you're saying is the power of the human condition. You know, which basically fear doesn't have to exist. Fear of this evolution that is happening. That it's got to be. It's got to go away. It's also it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like in the artist and all of that. But a lot of things that artists are afraid of, a lot of things that we artists are afraid of. If we stop being afraid of them, we'll actually just walk right into our power and eat.
Right.
You know what I mean? And eat a lot more and claim a lot more. It's got a lot to do with bravery. You've got to work and eat at the same time. The artists we don't have to not play into owning our money and our ways of making the money.
Right.
But instead, an artist is told a lot of times in my country. I don't know about other countries. In other countries, I see them being billionaires, you know. But a lot in South Africa, they told budget, which is not true.
But I'm regarded as the most expensive actor because I refuse.
Thank you. We need a lot more use. You know what I mean? We need a lot more use.
That brings me to this whole thing that when but what drives you?
But I'm not fighting.
I know. But what drives you? What drives you? What is it that grinds? To the bone.
I just don't like exploitation. I also don't like it when people lie to people, man. It's disgusting. I don't like that. Like, don't lie to me. If you want me to drink this juice instead of the water, say this is juice. Don't say that's water. Don't lie in order to get what you need from me. You know, that for me makes me sick to the bone. Like, don't treat people who make you money like they don't make you money.
But here's something that and I kind of woke up to this now when I was producing the station. And one way or the other, it actually made me realize maybe how certain battles that I've waged, even though I had reason for them, but I didn't know what was happening there.
Ah, okay.
Yes. And you realize that, and I think sometimes we find ourselves fighting with production houses. You know what I mean? But I think the people that we need to fight with are the broadcasters. What do you say to
that? Of course, yeah. Where are you?
Let's talk about it. I mean, we're opening up here.
I'm so tired. As no but nabantu abathi let's cure the problem. You need to prevent it. Like prevention is better than cure. Two things. There's artists who make the work that makes the money, and then there's people who sell that work that makes the money, and then they make the money.
Yeah.
Because they're selling this product.
Yeah.
So that the money can then go there, supposedly, but it doesn't go there. So it stays here. So if these people would know that these people are making money because of them, maybe they would lean into their power and work on it differently, rather than us being so mad at the people who are exploiting us. I wonder what it is we would do.
What is it? Yeah, I mean,
in order to make sure that there isn't an option to exploit us.
And I want to withdraw what I said. I said, "Umafigizolo."
Yeah. Your standards, absolutely.
Let me tell you something. Let me say this to you. And in fact, when I spoke to some young revolutionary,
yes,
and he basically was saying to me, Babsilo, you guys need to step away, step aside.
What?
Yes.
You must. Why must you step aside?
Yes, because the young people have got to take the baton, and run.
Yes.
And basically, what I'm saying to you is,
yes,
I'm withdrawing that I said to Mafikizo.
Okay.
And run.
I have no choice.
So, but what is it that we have to do?
We have to stop the victim mentality.
Right.
There's two things here. I'm not going to deny what we already know.
Yeah.
We're being exploited. The channel must pay better. The government must sign the bill. The president must sign the bill. We need to be in a constitutionalized industry. It's not an industry. It's a business. I don't call this an industry. I call it a business. I'm in the business of the arts because it contributes billions to the GDP each year. Therefore, there can't just be an industry. It's a business. When we know how powerful we are, we will claim better. But when you are the product, when you are the artist, you are the artist. When you go to drama school, you go to drama school to learn how to be a great artist.
That's it, yes.
You don't learn how to be a great business person.
Exactly, yes.
Then you have a different person who goes to business school to learn how to sell a product. The two can marry.
Yeah.
If you as the artist can understand that you must sell, you are a business, you're a product that sells, you must know how to sell that product. Then it's on you to make sure that you are selling to the amount of money that you want, to the anything that you want. But because we there's a disconnect between the two, so we then become these victims who are sitting back going, "Oh, but you," and don't get it twisted. I'm aware of that. Yes, the person that's selling our work is selling it for their gain, which is very wrong.
Yeah.
But before we get to the point where we say stop being wrong, we could always just say, sure, let's just change the game.
If there was a role that you had to play, what role do you dream? Have you ever, looked, or if there was a role that would have to be created for you, what is it that you would want in it?
I don't even know. There's so much work to be done by a black female. There's so much work to be done. Maybe it's because I'm mostly fueled by telling a different version of the things that we're saying about black people. And in general, I'm not, I know that we fall in love, we fall out of love, we create companies, they become poor. There's so many stories to tell about black people, especially like an African person, you know, from where we do come from before we ended up in South Africa. And I'm in that mindset. I'm in the mindset that says, who is the black female, and what does, and where does she belong, and where does she come from, and what is it, and what's the story of us? I'm excited about that stuff.
There's a scope of, you know, in fact, I think if you look at the landscape of femininity, you know, of women, you know, and you know the different aspects of a closer girl. This and in fact, there was this thing, you remember there was a hurricane that was going to come through, you know, because I think it was Hurricane Dineo, you know, and they said they should have named it after a closer girl. But it would have wreaked havoc. You know what I mean? But and I agree with you that somehow I think the depiction of who we are is very limited.
Yeah.
If you were going to be looking for a role or maybe even a figure,
okay,
you know, that you know, and you know its complexity, which figure would it be?
A long time ago, we have a story about a woman who, she was also Xhosa, and she was young. She was about 13 or something. And she had prophetic powers, and her name was Unongqawuse.
Yes.
And she told her people to kill all her cows. And
right.
That's how white people ended up coming into the nation, and we had no cows, and we had to live by their cows. I like her.
Right.
I'm hoping that we could tell stories like that. Mkabaika Jama, so she was a Zulu king. She was a female king, and she trained Oshaka. I'd like to know who she was. And she had a reed dance with men. And she'd choose a man, you know, a reed dance like any other king. But you know, I think those
that's where you
because they're fascinating stories. Otherwise, those stories are gonna disappear into history.
Have you ever felt this last one question that you needed to take a risk in playing a role?
Yes.
Which one?
In the ones that I already have played.
Yeah, you have already played.
I think it probably was playing Mandela's mother.
Okay.
Because she was much older than I was.
Wow.
And I felt like it was a very important person to be able to do right.
On that note.
Yes.
Z.
Yes,
thank you very much.
Thank you
for honoring us with your time.
Thank you.
With your, you know, with your generosity, and with just you.
Thank you.
It is such an honor to speak to you.
And
spend an hour.
Yes, we need more time.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank you so much.
Well, that is it. Opening up with Sello and with Zikhona. Till then, till next time. Ta-da.